Though we have all traveled many uncertain roads, we have always recognized something wasn't right. We searched high and low, yet our paths had never intersected. Our desire to seek truth, then to speak true, has brought us all together. That thing of ours is rooted in truth, because truth is the only unshakable foundation. In the greatest book, it states in John 8:32, "For ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free."
Truth is a powerful force. It is the foundation on which all great achievements are built, and the bedrock of trust and respect in any relationship. When we are rooted in truth, we can be confident that our decisions and actions are grounded in reality rather than in speculation or wishful thinking.
The pursuit of truth is not always easy. It requires courage, perseverance, and a willingness to face uncomfortable facts. But in the end, the truth is always worth it. It allows us to make better decisions, to build stronger relationships, and to create a more just and equitable world.
From politics and world events to entertainment and pop culture, we've got you covered. We'll explore our history and the stories that matter to uncover the truth that lies at the heart of each one. With our fingers on the pulse of the news cycle, we'll provide the insights and analysis you need to stay informed and engaged. As we stay rooted in truth and let the truth guide us in all that we do, let us be willing to listen, to learn, and seek out the facts, even when they challenge our own assumption or belief.
Let us never forget that the pursuit of truth is not just an individual endeavor, but a collective one. Only by working together
With honesty and integrity,
can we build a better future for ourselves
And for generations to come.
This
is That Thing of Ours. How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining us today on this Monday, February 24th, 2025. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and Pill.net.
and if you haven't already, please take a minute and give us a virtual hug. If you're over on Rumble or YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're over on pill.net, take that red pill. If you're over on X, smash that heart. And if you're on Facebook, you like to push buttons and you have like 7 choices over there. So clickety click away.
Clickety click, everybody. Really helps us out, and we do truly appreciate it. It's always helpful when y'all engage with us, and we do truly enjoy the engagement and each one of y'all being here. Okay, my interwebs is not working.
What do you mean you're interwebs?
My interwebs is not working well.
Huh. That's weird.
The show, it's anyways, all
Is it
right.
because we moved the office around?
I don't know. We moved the entire everything around in the background. Y'all can't see it, but you might notice a little difference with like camera position or something. Yeah, Rumble isn't working.
Yeah, my Rumble wasn't working either.
Oh joy.
Joy and happiness.
Yes.
Let's
Oh,
say hi
there we
to
go.
the fam.
Hi, fam.
We got Aaron in the house.
Aaron, what's going on, man? He made it first today.
I know. We got F. Clint in the house.
Yo, F. Clem, what's going on, man?
Let's see, you didn't start.
I know. I didn't have time, and it's dark in here now.
I know, it's weird. And all the lights are on.
I know.
Got Barry Nice in the house.
Hey, very nice. Thanks for joining us.
Got Chachi in
Hey,
the house.
Chachi.
Got Miss Steph in the house.
Hey, Steph.
Got Miss Dawn in the house.
Hi, Dawn. Carol's in here too, obviously.
Yeah.
Hi,
There's
Carol.
Miss Carol.
Hey, Carol.
There's Miss Jenny.
Jenny.
Watch out for the frogs, Jenny.
Watch out for the frogs, Jenny.
There's Randoon.
Hey, Randoon. What's going on, man?
There's Liberty.
And there's Liberty. What's going on, Liberty?
Miss Angie.
It's Ange. Hey, Ange.
Let's see. Oh, they kicked Steph. She's back though.
Oh, Lord. The interwebs
Okay,
be
I
interwebsing
know,
today.
It is. There's Miss Wendy.
Hey, Wendy.
Wow. See, Rumble's being kind of a butthead.
All right. Huh. That's really weird.
There's Mike.
There's Mike. What's going on, Mike? Had to stumble through all the comments to try to find
Yeah.
everybody this fine evening. Hope everybody had a great weekend. You got your batteries recharged and you're ready to take on the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. See how that goes. But Lord knows that things continued on over the weekend.
They
and
did.
that there was still newsing happening.
There was. That still happens. Yeah, Rumble doesn't want to come up or anything. Let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get a move on.
Yeah. You ready?
I'm ready if you are.
Can you read that, please?
Oh, God, now she wants me to read. All right. Dr. Eric Berg, skyrocketing egg prices are not by accident.
Let's listen.
Like anybody surprised by that tidbit of information.
I know.
What is going on now with bird flu is very close to an exact replay of what happened with COVID.
Egg prices are not something that is random. It's something else. And you have to follow the money. Today, we're going to talk about what's really behind the scarcity of eggs, the price. I'm interviewing Clayton Baker, MD, doctor of internal medicine for over 25 years. Doc, it's a pleasure to meet you. Now, you have some amazing insights to this bird flu, which is a bit of a deja vu of a playbook that I think just happened recently. I wanted to bring you on because maybe you can kind of give us the simple version of what potentially could be going on. As far as, could this be something that is accidental or maybe manufactured?
Yes, well, thanks for having me very much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to speak, and thanks for taking the time to read my article. If we just use basic pattern recognition skills, we can see that what is going on now with bird flu is very close to an exact replay of what happened with COVID. What we see is a several-step process by which people intentionally are creating fear and creating a pandemic or attempting to create a pandemic in order to obtain some kind of control over us. This is clearly what happened with COVID, as even the CIA has admitted now that the virus came out of the lab in Wuhan, that it was an engineered virus. Around 2012 or somewhere thereabouts, was found in a cave of bats in China and was brought to the lab and was manipulated for several years to essentially weaponize it. Late in 2019, that virus was released. Whether it was intentional or unintentional remains unclear, but it definitely came out of the lab. They allowed the World Military Games, which is an Olympic type event, to take place in Wuhan, China, of all places, brought all kinds of people from all over the world, allowed it to spread. And then by early 2020, it was declared to be this pandemic. We had all of these civil rights violations, locking us down, not allowing us to earn a living in the name of protecting us from this virus. They have a countermeasure, and the countermeasure is to develop these vaccines. They could compel us, they could kind of coerce us into taking these highly profitable and turns out quite toxic vaccines. For what reason? Because they would make a lot of money, and because they would exert control over us to continue to take these vaccines in the future. So now let's fast forward to what's happening right now with the bird flu. There are multiple labs that have taken a previously naturally occurring H5N1 bird flu. They've been manipulating it in the lab, doing gain of function, which means trying to make it more transmissible and more virulent. And in fact, they're very aggressively trying to get it to jump species, which is, there's no good reason to do this. Two of the prominent labs in the United States that are doing this are the Southeast Poultry Research Laboratory, which is owned and operated by our own USDA, is doing this crazy research in Athens, Georgia, and it's almost certain that this is the location by which the current circulating clade, as they call it, of this virus leaked out of. Now, whether it leaked out intentionally or unintentionally, I don't know, but we're pretty confident that's where it came from. And Peter McCulloch and Nick Hulsher and some other people have done some incredible work to trace this, incredible detective work to trace this down. They've published it, and no one's even bothered to try and refute it. Of course, our FDA is now claiming that they're doing all they can to contain this, when in fact, they almost certainly leaked the virus out. I don't know whether it was intentional or not. The other lab, and there's multiple labs that do this type of gain-of-function research on bird flu that's really implicated in this, is at the University of Wisconsin Veterinary School. There's a guy, a Japanese national by the name of Yoshihiro Kawaoka. He's been there for many years, funded by all kinds of sources. He's funded by NIH. He's funded by Gates Foundation. does all kinds of just really ill-advised stuff. President Obama back in 2014 put a temporary ban on gain-of-function research in the United States. Some of the people that blew the whistle on him, you wouldn't believe. Paul Offit, who's one of the big apologists for vaccines, was one of the people who was so alarmed by what this guy Kawaoka was doing that even he blew the whistle on him. Anthony Fauci found a way around this largely by outsourcing the stuff to China for the coronavirus work and to some extent just ignoring Obama's ban. But that's how bad these gain-of-function people are. Now you've got these leaked, lab-manipulated viruses that are out there. And fortunately, what we're seeing in the population is not as bad as they're advertising. Birds that are getting sick, occasional cows that are getting the virus as well, although the cows don't get very sick. I'm not aware of any. There may be some, but I'm not aware of any cow deaths. And 67 human beings in North America in the last couple of years have gotten this. And for the overwhelming majority of them, it's been conjunctivitis. It's been pink eye. There was one report of a person who died in Louisiana with the bird flu. They would not go so far as to say that the person died of the bird flu, although some of the media outlets claimed that, but that has not been stated. They are encouraging the farmers to do willy-nilly PCR testing on their flocks. If they test positive, what they're doing is mass slaughtering the entire flock if so much as one bird tests positive for the illness.
A PCR test, which has a lot of false positives, they have one positive, they will kill the entire flock. Some of these farms have millions of chickens, correct?
Correct. So they can kill hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of birds at once because of one or two positive PCR tests. That's why, this is important for listeners to know, that's why we have a shortage. The shortage is not because the birds are dying of the bird flu. The shortage is because they're being mass slaughtered if there's even one or two or a small number of positive tests.
Have you heard anything about this happening in smaller backyard farms, people having chickens in their backyards? Is that occurring in that environment at all, or is it just mainly the industrial size chicken farms?
It's an excellent question. I don't have a definitive answer, but what I would say is that supposedly this individual that got extremely sick in Louisiana caught it from their backyard chicken farm. However, what's causing the price of eggs to go up is this ridiculous policy of slaughtering whole flocks when you have one or a few positive tests. And of course, just to show you how dishonest the whole process is, they call it culling. Well, you can look up the definition of culling in the dictionary. It has nothing to do with mass slaughter. Mass slaughter is the opposite of culling. That's how dishonest this process is.
Thoughts?
All right. So, hey, JD, thanks for joining. All right. So I think that a lot of this is to clean out a lot of the robot chickens is what I'm calling them. The ones that have had the mRNA gene editing vaccines given to them. I think that has a lot to do with this, although they're saying it's the PCR tests, in which case it wouldn't surprise me. They still want to necessarily reduce the population to 500 million. So I'm thinking that, yeah, they just want people to starve because it's about the only control that they have left over much of anything until the house cleaning can happen. And that house cleaning is it's already started, but more people need to be caught and they're going to go out kicking and screaming. I fully believe that. But I also believe, because I remember there were 17,000 cows that were euthanized out in Amarillo. And so the number 17 obviously kind of makes people's ears perk up, makes you kind of question about what's actually going on in the background. And it wouldn't surprise me because there were significant cattle populations out there, because it's where the beef industry does a lot of its business, is right there from way back. Because of all the cattle drives, the industry was already set up there. So I can see that they would have to clean out a lot of what was not going to be healthy moving forward. I have no idea how many chickens got infected with the mRNA, but I do have a feeling that they are going to be sicker more often. And I do believe that it would make it so that we could get some of the, I don't want to say benefits, but some of the terrible side effects, probably the better word, side effects from eating that food. Mm-hmm. Hey, Mike, what's going on? We've got Mike squared here now.
Yeah, we do.
Then Mama Spark showed up too.
I know.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that, please?
All righty. Chicken farmer says they're bullshitting you about bird flu deaths.
Let's listen.
Well, there we go. It's all bullshit. We just don't know what's actually going on in the background.
Yeah, let's see what this man has to say.
We should.
I'm a chicken farmer and they are bullshitting you about the reasons why your eggs are so expensive. Listen, when you consider the fact that we consume over 9 billion chickens a year and just in meat alone, there's over in 2023, we had over 382 million egg laying hens in this country alone. And so far, we've only lost 300 million birds worldwide. It doesn't make sense. They say the same shit every year. I know it because I'm a chicken farmer. I see the same alerts. And I see the same opportunities to jack up prices, and yet I choose not to. Listen, when you look at these large facilities, a lot of these birds aren't dying of bird flu. They are dying of neglect. They don't give the vegan vitamins, oregano, all the supplements they are supposed to be getting. They're getting in these mega facilities, and these birds are dying of disease and neglect. And every time a bird dies, they say bird flu. I'm telling you, they're bullshitting you.
Thoughts?
We know that they're bullshitting us. The question is what are we supposed to do? I'm nowhere near a chicken farm out here. I can assure you that.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we had a pig farm and then people moved in right next door to the chicken farm and then complained about, or not the chicken, but the pig farm, and then complained about the smell of the pig farm. What did you expect? But that's how, everything happens when you have millions and millions of people escaping from places like LA, Chicago, Pittsburgh, Philly, Chicago, if I didn't say that one already, all of these places, and they're coming out here to Las Vegas. And so you got to put these people somewhere. And when you run out of space and you got to put up houses next to a pig farm, I guess that's just the way it works, is the pig farm has got to go. It's pretty sad. Yeah, exactly, Little Lunker. I think he did nail it. I think that they're BSing us. They're not telling us the truth about what's going on. But I do have some questions about what's really going on back there. Yes, they are lying. They're all lying to us, Jenny.
Yes.
Liar, pants on fire.
You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read that, please?
Alina Habba says the days of American government hiding from American people are over.
Let's listen.
That's music to my ears.
Yeah.
And now they're going to panic because they don't want anybody to know who was on Epstein's island, who was a pedo, and who is probably still sitting in D.C. And the reality of the situation is this: there will be accountability, and America deserves it. We needed to know what the drones are. We needed to know that we were okay. We need to know about Epstein's island. We want to know about JFK. The days of American government hiding from American people are over. We need transparency. We have done that. And we will continue to do so. I'm excited for Pam and now Kash to get in there and clean up our mess.
Thoughts?
All right. So I would like to share this Q drop for today, or Delta for today. Let's see. Go ahead and get this one pulled up here. And it would be Q post 3881, February 24th of 2020. Listen carefully. Think regarding why no arrests or justice yet. What if almost every critical position senior within the U.S. government apparatus was infiltrated? What must be done first? The swamp runs deep. Sleepers. Backgrounds are important. Muslim Brotherhood, list of in the news now names with known ties to Islam. This is not another 4-year elections. Assumptions correct. Package well received. Known. And I do believe that it is a game that's going to take a little bit of time. But these names, the lists, all of this stuff is going to come out. But they have to make sure that every single step is in place. Remember, they're trying to do a legitimate justice system as opposed to the kangaroo courts that they've been running for the past 4 years. Well, if you're doing it legitimately, then you have to make sure that every I is dotted, every T is crossed before you make the first arrest, before you make the first move. And I believe that that's exactly what's happening. Also, the eggs might be playing a part in all of this because it will lead to who's doing this, what's going on, how many FBI agents. I saw an article where they said that Kash was making a terrible move by sending 5,000 FBI agents out into the field that were all just kind of hanging out and Washington, D.C. And it's like, I don't know why that's a bad idea, because these people are actually going to go investigate things now. And that's exactly what we need. We need these investigations to happen. And there's plenty of stuff to investigate, like what's going on with the chickens and whether or not these chickens are actually sick. These are the kinds of things that I expect the FBI to do. It's just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Okay.
Oh, okay. I just,
Listening to you.
okay. I thought maybe you had something to say. I was
Oh, no.
looking at your eyes. All right. Exactly. Third railified. They have criminals to catch.
Mhm.
And that's what we need them to do, is to go catch the criminals, because there's so many of them that have been running freely lately.
It's been a minute.
And ever since Biden did his little rash of pardons, he let out some of the most rank criminals that never
Yeah.
should have been let go. And they've already been committing crimes. So yeah, gotta hunt some of these people down.
Well,
And well, you know,
yeah.
there's the whole illegal alien, or excuse me, criminal invaders problem that they need some help with, an extra 5,000 agents to help to that end.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, exactly, Mama's Park. Come on, Mulder and Scully, get to it.
Yes.
Stop hanging out in D.C. Ain't nothing valuable out there.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that, please?
CNN poll shows who Americans think is really attacking democracy.
Let's listen.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to have some Friday fun and dig through the crosstabs of a CNN poll. And I found some interesting things. So you remember the threat to democracy rhetoric. So they're still using it. They're saying Elon Musk, he's a special government employee, he's a threat to democracy, taking him to the courts. Well, the American people aren't buying it. This, look closely. Okay, so at the bottom, you see 2021. 56% of Americans believe democracy is under attack. Who was president then? Joe Biden. Doesn't get much better the next year. 52% believe this. 2023, 54%. Majority of Americans say democracy is under attack with Biden. Oh, wait, but this morning I find that number has fallen 11% to 45%. So keep making the argument about Doge, but the American people don't seem to be buying it. Well,
Thoughts?
No, the American people aren't buying it. As a matter of fact, democracy's working just great, because over 50% of the population actually voted for President Trump, knowing full good and well that Elon Musk and Doge was going to be a part of that. So yeah, that would be the democracy working just the way it's supposed to. It's a small part. But again, thank God we get an opportunity to talk about what a republic is, and how these people who keep calling it democracy don't know what they're actually talking about, because they watch too much television.
Well, there is that. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's listen.
All right.
No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Every tongue that rises up against me in judgment is condemned. I decree and declare over my household that weapons of destruction will not prevail. I declare today that my family is shielded from every form of evil and attack. The blood of Jesus covers my house, my children, my spouse, and everyone under my roof. There is no weapon, no curse, no plan of the enemy that can break through the covering of God's protection. My going out and my coming in are blessed. I am protected in every step I take. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds me, keeping me safe, keeping me secure. The hand of the Almighty God is upon me and all that concerns me. I am above and not beneath, the head and not the tail. No evil arrow will land in my life or in the lives of those I love. I decree, I declare, and I command that every evil satanic arrow be sent back to the sender right now, in the mighty name of Jesus. I send them back to where they came from, and I declare that they will return void. I stand firm in the authority of Jesus Christ. I and my household are for signs and wonders. We are a living testimony of God's grace, favor, and protection. In the name of Jesus Christ, we walk in victory, in health, in peace, and in favor. Amen.
Thoughts?
All right. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. See, these are the things that we're kind of finding out right now. Is there's been all sorts of weapons formed against us. I mean, even the eggs. right? And the chickens. That weapon formed against us will not prosper. The Wuhan virus, which is in the end a biological weapon that they unleashed against everybody in the entire globe, in a coordinated biological weapon attack with the jab simultaneously. And these weapons have not been successful against us right now. We have seen people that it has, sadly taken their lives. It has worked against so many people. And I'm not saying that they weren't godly or anything, but what I'm saying is that was probably done in order to wake up more people. So that way more people could be saved by the few people who actually became martyred by this biological weapon attack against the people of the entire globe, but more specifically here in our country. We need to make sure that we have that faith. We need to make sure that we have that confidence that God is watching after us. After all, through our faith, through our prayers and supplications that we have presented at the feet of our Lord, he has delivered so many of the people that are still here today, and he has opened their eyes to the truth that so many people were blind to. That's why the American people were able to vote in President Trump, despite the amount of the corruption that was going on in the background that kept Trump out 4 years ago. So what is happening is we are getting that divine providence because we are doing the very thing that he wants us to do. And that's to lay everything, or present everything to him and say, God, we can't do anything about this. So all we can do is pray and ask for your deliverance. And he's showing that to be true. So we must stay strong in our faith so that way we can continue to be delivered and more people can continue to wake up, because in the end, God loves all of his children and he wants his children to come back to him. And the only way they'll recognize that they need to come back to God is if their eyes are opened. So it is all happening. It is all happening for God's benefit and his greatness, but it is showing that he is the great deliverer from all of these evils. So rejoice evermore.
Count it all joy.
Count it all joy.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that, please?
Yes. All right. Based. Border czar Tom Homan doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks.
Let's listen.
Nor should he.
Right.
He's there for a job.
Exactly.
How you doing? Look, let me start out by saying this. If I offend anybody today, I don't give a shit. Don't care. The media in the back room, I'm sure I'll be reading a lot of hit pieces on me tomorrow. I don't give a shit what you think about me. I get asked all the time, does it bother you? There's a big part of this country that hates your guts. I don't care. I don't care. Because we got a job to do. You know, I wake up every day for the last 4 years pissed off because the Biden administration took the most secure border in my lifetime and unsecured it on purpose, right? I worked for 6 presidents, starting with Ronald Reagan. Every president I ever worked for took steps to secure the border. Even Clinton and Obama took steps to secure the border because they clearly understood you can't have national security without border security. They got it. Joe Biden's the first president in history of the nation who came into office and unsecured the border on purpose. So for 4 years, I wake up every day pissed off. That changed November 5th. Now I wake up every day excited because I work for the greatest president of my lifetime, Donald J. Trump.
Thoughts?
It's nice that he has the support that he needs so that way he can go do, I don't know, INS kinds of things. It's exactly his job. He's being unleashed, and that's exactly what we need. We need a border patrol that is capable and empowered in which to protect our borders. I'm truly excited about this. And they're finding everybody. It's not happening the way we would like to see it happen, but it is happening nonetheless. And it's so much better than it was before. At the very least, we don't have the endless stream of people that have our taxpayer dollars to provide their free trip and vacay out here to various hotels and whatnot. The free trip, the free ride is over, and now it's time for all the party goers to go home. They don't have to go home, but they can't stay here. So move along, because it's not coming back, and it's not coming back for 4 years, and you won't be able to hide for 4 years, because as each day passes and President Trump shows that he is as strong as he actually presents himself to be, and more of this government gets cleaned of the cancerous cells that have infected this nation, I do believe that it will be easier to switch focus to those who want to hide and pretend like they're part of the good guys. And that's not the case. Really, I get it. You've been here for a little while. You were given false pretenses that you were going to have a free life and you were going to get all of the taxpayers' money, and you thought that you were going to get a free house and $10,000 a month and all these fancy things that you were getting. But you had to know deep down inside, if you were an illegal alien, that this gravy train was going to run out of the gravy at some point in time. Well, that time is now. So go ahead and pack your bags and all the free shit you got, and take all that trash with you. So that way we don't have to fill up our landfills with all this crap that you purchased. Be so kind. Please rewind.
Oh, goodness gracious. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you read that, please?
Homan says President Trump will end up wiping cartels off the face of the earth.
Let's listen.
Strong words.
Yeah.
Oops. What's going on?
Agent Smith.
No, it's not Agent. Agent Smith, cut it out, man.
Hi, Agent Smith.
Hi, Agent Smith. What's going on?
Cartels are getting craftier. They're obviously trying to adapt to what you're throwing at them. You're seeing this video now. They're on boats. How have you seen the coyotes and the cartels kind of reorient their business to handle what you've done?
Look, they are going more maritime. We knew they would. That's why we've increased Coast Guard patrols 3 times, 3 times more than we have in the past. So Coast Guard will answer that call. So we're going to shut them down maritime too. Look, we're going to put them out of business. President Trump is designating them criminal terrorist organizations, which they should be. They've killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in this world combined. President Trump will end up wiping them off the face of the earth, because we're going to put them out of business. You put them out of business, you take their money away. They can't bribe Mexican officials. They can't bribe anybody. Without money, they have no power. We're not just going to attack in Mexico. The Jalisco cartel, we're going to attack them in the 43 countries that have operations currently, operations in 43 different countries. We're going to attack them worldwide.
Thoughts?
Okay, so obviously there's a lot of ocean out there. And it's easy to hide so much out there in the ocean. I mean, even in the skies, they have ground combat intercept. In other words, there's people who do nothing but try to make our planes find their planes, so that way they can dogfight, right? So that way they can get into a fight. So the ocean being gigantic, a major portion of the surface area of this planet, it's also easy to try to sneak through our defenses. They even have submarines. Look it up. Narco subs. They've got them. They've got submersibles. They've got full-blown submersibles. And I was just looking real quick. Apparently, they even got torpedoes that they send their drugs via. So that way, there's no human being involved. They just kind of launch it and it goes. So yeah, our Navy and our Coast Guard are going to be very active trying to find all of these threats to our national sovereignty and the just general, way that Americans should be able to function without some kind of narcotics attack on the people of the United States, because it's something that they end up getting addicted to and they stop thinking properly. And so therefore it causes all these problems that we just don't need, that wouldn't be happening if we didn't have the cartels bringing in tons and tons of this crap every single day. Also, keep in mind, President Trump, one of the reasons why he goes after Trudeau is because, or Castro Jr. up there in the 51st state that's about to be. But the because so much of the fentanyl comes through Canada, we've got a war around every single one of our borders. And it's going to take some time, but we need these people who are strong, of a strong moral character and of a strong character, to know that they are empowered to make these problems end. And I certainly believe that Tom Homan, in conjunction with our military forces, will be able to deal with these problems in a manner in which the terrorist organizations didn't see coming.
Yeah.
The whole world is used to us fighting half-ass, limp-wristed, like we have, like our National Command Authority has been doing since Vietnam. See, the world hasn't seen an unleashed Marine Corps. The world hasn't seen an army that's unleashed, a United States Army, or a Navy, or an Air Force, or a Coast Guard. It just hasn't happened in so many people's lives to this day. So I will tell you that as President Trump unleashes all of these organizations, they're going to be surprised, because they think they have, that America's weak, that America is incapable, and they're confusing what a good president is like versus all of the bad presidents that were in place that got these various organizations to get to the level of power that they have attained. Chachi says, didn't they get some Russian subs when the wall fell? I think that they did. Now, whether or not they're actually able to maintain those is another thing altogether. Yeah, I was looking that up. It does look like there is a diesel, complete submarines.
Yeah,
31-foot hull. Yeah, that's something serious.
exactly.
Colombian Navy, 31-meter long fiberglass and Kevlar vessel was found hidden in a jungle area in Timbuktu, whatever, in southwestern Colombia.
Interesting.
It's capable of traveling 30 feet below the water and could carry 4 people and 8 tons of cargo.
Well, there you have it.
That's a lot of drugs. All right. I hope I'm saying this. Sea Strike?
Yeah.
CST Strike? I don't know. Anyways, military is the only way. 100%. The military has to be involved in this, because I just don't see how it could happen without without that kind of assistance.
Yeah, exactly.
These are international problems.
Yeah.
The FBI, as capable as they are, they still have to catch up with what they need to within our borders.
Mhm.
All right, you look like you're done.
You ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that, please?
Yes. Honduran sexual predator and human trafficker busted along with 7 other illegals. Yeah, let's listen.
106, bail out. 3 subjects running north from 83. The description of clothing.
Okay, done. Here. Hey, you got him or what? I think there's more, bro, over there. ¿Cuántos eran? 8.
I'm sorry, couldn't hear you over
Yeah,
the
I
noise. What
couldn't.
was that?
Junior Hidalgo Montoya's Alvarez Honduran national smuggling. Oh, okay, that was
Yeah.
the individual.
Yes.
Okay, that was spoken of in the headline. All right, so
Thoughts?
well, I mean that was an interesting clown car. It would have been more fun if they were doing it out of a Beetle, although I don't think they would have broken any records. But regardless, it was pretty. It's pretty. I guess expected to see at this point in time. There's a lot of people who are going to be moving, trying to find safer places, especially as they get information that ICE is in town, that the ice cream man is in town, and that he's going to be bringing all sorts of toys and treats, tricks and treats for all the little
Is that like the Iceman that's cometh?
Iceman come, yeah, the Iceman cometh with all the hide and seek champions, the hide and seek champion players that are out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, things are changing.
things are changing.
Yeah. You ready?
I'm happy to see it. It looks good to me.
It does. Can you read that, please?
Okay. LOL. LOLOLOLOL. White House seeks to sell Nancy Pelosi federal building.
Let's listen.
White House is looking to sell the Nancy Pelosi Federal Building on 7th Street and the century-old building at 50 United Nations Plaza. The Trump administration says it will save money by avoiding maintenance on the buildings, selling the properties, then leasing office space for federal workers. Former Congresswoman Jackie Spears says it's just about vengeance.
It's another example of how he's coming after Democrats, he's coming after California, and it's all about payback.
It's all about payback. Everything I don't like is Hitler.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this this Delta for this Q drop 2886, February 24th, 2019. It says those who are the loudest Q. Obviously, we can tell who's a bad guy and who's a good guy based purely off of the fact that they're doing all the whining. F. Clinton says, make it a homeless shelter. We should, or maybe possibly a mental health facility, the Nancy Pelosi mental health and trader building or something like that. It's where we store the traitors and they're not allowed out ever again. And they get to hang out with all the people that they made mentally sick.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Or they can look at them so that way they can themselves go crazy. I don't know. Maybe that's cruel and unusual punishment. I have no idea. Whatever. Anyways.
It could be.
Chachi says, I think that means the building is sold already. Oh, I believe that building is sold. I look forward to when McCarran Airport can become McCarran Airport again.
Yes.
That would excite me because
I'm
Harry
never
Reid.
gonna call it that other name. I always call
The Harry
it
Reid.
McCarran.
Yeah, the Harry Reid Airport, whatever. Don't care.
Don't
know
care.
too much. Yeah. So when Harry Reid Airport changes to back to McCarran or something like that, I'll know that it's just about done at that point in time. That it's completely cleaned out.
You ready?
Mama Spark says, I know where that building is located. Make housing available again. Boy, wouldn't that be nice?
Wow, that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
I'm assuming it's in San Fran area. After all, it's named after, Nancy.
Ugh.
Yeah.
She's annoying.
She is annoying.
Ugh.
She's not going to be around if she's even around any longer.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we saw the whole thing with the marshal years and years ago. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. How about some Craig?
Yeah, we could always use some Craig.
Let's listen.
God, I thank you for the honesty of those who say that they do have questions. And God, I thank you that this is a safe place to process. No judgment, but a safe place because Jesus made room for doubts. And so, God, we take them to you. We think you're a good God. And I pray, God, that we would walk with others with grace and with love, showing grace and truth, and helping others experience your goodness. We're not going to let doubt be a dead end. We're going to walk through the valley of the shadow of doubt, God, because you are with us. So, God, we pray that this would be a very safe place, a healing place, to ask hard questions, and in your presence, God, to find truth and real answers.
Thoughts?
All right. I love Craig. I think he's amazing. He's truly inspiring.
He really is.
You know, we pray. We pray because it has improved our life significantly, and we do need to share that. I mean, in the end, the reason why we evangelize, the reason why we share our faith with other people is because it can make life so much better. And it doesn't make it better because poof, all of your problems are fixed and you have tons of money now and you're free of problems in life. No, as a matter of fact, quite the opposite. And even better than that option would be the fact that we find a way to let go of the things that we think that we should be doing in life and controlling, which is just an illusion, but we think that we can control all of these things in life. And what we recognize with our faith and through prayer is that God's got this and it's up to him. And so it makes it a little bit easier for our hearts to stop trying to, by force of will, force what we want in life, even though it may look like it's good. We don't always know what is in the best interest of everybody. So we pray because we want other people to have that peace in life, because it is difficult. It's extremely difficult when you feel like you're fighting every single thing in life. It's always fighting, fighting, the traffic, fighting the person at the gas station over, who's going to get the parking spot first.
Yeah.
You just learn to let go of stupid crap. And so it lightens our heart. It makes our life better and probably gives us a lot more longevity because we give it up to the Lord. So it is important that we go out and we make that effort to try to evangelize so that way other people can have this gift of true life.
I agree. Are you ready?
Yeah.
How about, I know,
I don't know
a
if I like where this is going.
flashback. Hold on.
Flashback.
A flashback from one of your favorite peeps. Can you read that, please?
Flashback. Kash Patel declares who is the worst criminal in Congress in the last 250 years.
Ready?
All right.
Let's listen.
I'm ready.
Adam Schiff is the worst criminal in Congress in the last 250 years. Adam Schiff went to the podium day after day after day saying, I know nothing about this. We're not going to discuss it. We're going to protect it. And then Adam Schiff, led the prosecution of the impeachment trial in the Senate of President Donald Trump. Talk about someone who was conflicted out of the game because he was part of the hoax that brought Charmella in, manufactured that false accusation, and then peddled it out to the world. And he continued, not surprising. He's lied about almost everything in his life. But now he lied just to set up a presidential impeachment. And that's what I was talking about, these disinformation campaigns. He should be investigated because he lied to the world about his interactions with Charmella, who is a whistleblower, and I can't stress it enough, that started a presidential impeachment.
Thoughts?
Pencil-necked watermelon head dude.
Yes.
I don't know. He's got a lot of convincing to prove to me that he's worse than Woodrow Wilson.
I know.
The worst president ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, after all, he's the reason why we have an IRS, which was never successfully ratified the way it should have been done. And there may or may not have been a lot of coercion to make sure that the IRS somehow managed to be a thing, and an income tax. Randoon says, Shift is now shifting himself. Yeah, he should be shifting all over himself.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't control himself before when he had the opportunity to do the right thing. Yeah, it's going to be funny to watch these people squirm.
Yeah.
Aaron says he has more like a cantaloupe head, not as oblong as a watermelon. Jenny says Schiff's eyes look like they're going to pop out.
He does look like a chihuahua.
The chihuahua, you give him, afraid if you give him a good smack on the back of the head, just bloop.
Ugh, that's gross.
But his eyeballs are ones that look like that.
I know.
Right in the back of the head.
Just smack. You ready?
Yeah.
Say hello.
Hello.
To the new deputy director of the FBI.
The new deputy director of the FBI, Dan Bongino.
Let's listen.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody was held accountable. Yeah, I mean, I was passionate about it for a reason. How many freaking times are we going to let the FBI interfere in an election? I mean, this is supposed to be a constitutional republic. I'm not crazy, right? Like, this is supposed to be a representative democracy. Banana Republic. We're beyond a banana republic. We're into like tin pot dictator third world stuff. This is embarrassing. At least Pravda didn't pretend to be anything but state apparatchiks. The FBI, and listen, I've been with you for a while. I work with a lot of decent guys, but I'm done with the rank and file stuff too. I'm done with it. If you took part in this, anyone who took part in this, anyone, I don't care who you are, an analyst or an upper level manager, the next president who comes in office, they should schedule F as many people as they can in the federal government and fire every single person involved in this. Everyone. The receptionist in the FBI office who took a call on this should be fired. We are not a third world republic, supposedly. Sean, the difference between us and Kim Jong-un, right, is that we investigate crimes and then we look for people. We don't investigate people and then look for crimes. That is exactly what's going on. How many times are they going to investigate Donald Trump for how many different things before the American people wake up and realize this isn't an investigation of a crime in search of a person, but a person in search of a crime? And let me just add, one last thing on this, folks. I left my job. So no one's going to lecture me, oh, Dan, what would you do if you just do? There's no more we're just doing our job. You swore an oath to the Constitution. Have some balls, man. I left my job because I couldn't take what was going on. I gave up my pension and everything because something else mattered. You're not going to lecture me on anything. If you were involved in this constitutional abomination to our constitutional republic, you don't deserve your job today. And you will get no backing from me or anybody I know in the conservative movement going forward. You flushed your credibility down the toilet.
Thoughts?
When was that interview? I wish I had more information about that. Huh. Interesting. Well, anyways, I agree with what he said 100%. If you were involved with any of this corruption whatsoever, you do not deserve to carry a badge, let alone a badge that should have a significant amount of, fidelity, bravery, and integrity associated with it. And stealing from the people of the United States and silencing the people of the United States does not make you exactly Fidelis being faithful to the Constitution, and it's not a whole lot of integrity, and it would have taken some bravery to stand up to the people that were corrupt and to do your damn job and arrest these people, but you didn't do that. So I don't give a shit if you don't have a job anymore, and if you are stuck at the bottom rung forever and a day because of your decisions, but you didn't do anything wrong enough to get launched, well, then so be it. But this is exactly what we need running the FBI right now. This will also give the FBI a chance to have Kash and Bongino work in two different directions to make sure that the house is getting clean the way it should, that being the FBI house. Chachi says, Patel and Bongino are focused on their mission. I think the 2020 stolen election D-class coming in hot. Man, I'll tell you what, Chachi, nothing would make me more happy than to find out about all these things. I'm seeing the Epstein logs, we're talking about the January 6th stuff, exactly, Mama Spark, ass kicking incoming. It's just, I don't know. It's exciting. Liberty says, no interview, that was his podcast. Okay, so that was his podcast. Yeah, we are about to find out about everything. And that is the win. We do need to find out. But, obviously certain things need to be put into place. And I think that Bongino and Kash Patel will be able to work smashingly together.
Yes.
I know Bongino was Secret Service. Kash Patel was counterintelligence. I can't think of a better person at the top of the FBI right now, especially as it looks like they're going to enfold all of the other investigative arms of the United States from all of those unconstitutional things. ATF, amongst many others, are going to get tucked away inside the FBI. And I think that that's a good thing right now. Could it lead to corruption? Possibly in the future. We'll see. But I do have a feeling that Kash and Bongino, they're smart enough guys where they can figure it out. They're the old school kind of investigators, the way things used to be done. And they'll make sure that they're done that way again. And that's the real win, because it'll make it difficult to take it over. And I don't know if the FBI was ever not corrupt, considering that J. Edgar Hoover was at the top of that ship for, well, from the beginning until however long. Aaron says, anyone that participated in government corruption from dog catcher on up needs to be in a cage. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, no quarter for tyrants. I can agree with that one. If you've been tyrannical, why should we give mercy? I know that we're a Christian nation. We should give mercy, but I don't know. We'll see how that plays out in the end.
We will. You ready?
Not up to me.
No.
But I have faith in the National Command Authority at this point in time.
I do too.
Haven't had that for some time for some reason.
Yeah.
Weird. Wonder what caused that.
So, this video,
Mm-hmm.
all I'm going to say is listen to this bitch.
Okay.
Ready?
Oh, God. Do I have to listen to her?
Yes.
All right.
I don't like that we give our military guys 10% discounts and different things at different businesses. They're already living off the taxpayer dollar. What about us who are paying for those taxes for our whole life? We get no benefit for supporting our military and for paying for them all these years.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet Hope. Her username is actually Hopeful, which is fairly obvious. Okay, let me tell you something, Hope. You want to know what benefit you get from our military? You get the freedom of speech that allows you to go on this app and whatever other app you're on and spew whatever ignorance you would like to spew. You get the freedom to come on here and show us just exactly how ignorant you are. Okay? Because these people, every single one of them, signed a piece of paper that said, I am willing to give my life for my country. For you, they signed their name and said, I'm willing to do that. And millions have. Okay? So that's the benefit you get for paying your taxes, and which I find suspect at this point. That's the benefit.
Fucking fat ass bitch.
Whoa. Came out guns blazing. Watch out. All right. So the portly lass there, she
Me too, Jenny.
all the violence from y'all. Anyway, I get it. There's a lot of people who don't understand, and she clearly has never even seen a military base or anybody in uniform and understand exactly what people go through on a daily basis. Are military people like getting shot at every single day? No, not at all. As a matter of fact, the Coast Guard probably gets shot at on a regular, a little bit more than your average military member, because the Coast Guard been doing counter narcotics operations forever and a day. So yeah, the Coast Guard goes through it pretty bad. It's just that when we need the military, and because the military has been abused throughout time, especially over the past, 5, 6, 8, 10, or decades, that we've had to deal with a whole bunch of politicians that have been abusing the power of the United States for their own benefit. I'm going to say that, yeah, I can see where the confusion would come from. However, our military has a very important function, and we kind of lost what that function is. But it will make sense to people like her in the future once the military is actually used in a proper way. I look forward to the military getting fixed, because it'll keep people like this who have a less than adequate understanding of the military and what goes on. That will change, and maybe she won't be so butthurt about the 10% discount that she doesn't get because she never did anything for anybody but herself and her fork.
Bet her fucking fat ass can run to fucking
What?
Krispy Kreme and get a donut, though.
Apparently, Kay got sudden onset Tourette's. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Jenny says, I got to tell myself every day common sense doesn't grow in everybody's garden. No, ma'am. No, it doesn't. You ladies need to calm down. Y'all need some chocolate or something.
I just don't like people like that.
I know.
Moving on.
She's got to learn it one way, one how or another.
Ooh.
Or she can continue to be mad. She's just mad because she doesn't get a discount at the Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly, Jenny. Cry me a river. I want my 2% discount like the military people.
You ready? How about some sassy?
Oh, good. There you go. Get yourself fired up even more.
Let's listen.
Just in case you didn't already tell the kids earmuffs again.
Earmuffs.
You get a warning this time.
Yes.
It's the 331st day of February. Here's what you missed. Trump's live right now. He's talking about Trump shit. Motherfucker firing everybody. Yeah, you're probably next. There's a purge at the Pentagon. Fucking good. CNN got kicked out as well. Fucking better. Trump wants to cut income tax for Social Security. If he says it, he'll do it. Mitch McConnell stepping down. That's hard to do when you're never out of the floor. According to the governor of Wisconsin, it's not mother now. It's inseminated individual. Woo, go Democrats. The Pope's about dead. He's got double pneumonia. I don't want nothing to happen to him. But if he croaks, he will be my fourth bingo this year. And by bingo, I mean total blackout. I'm just saying. Lieutenant Governor of Mississippi collapsed to the floor. He fell down and went boom. Ass slicked the fuck out. He's 77. That tracks. Canada beat the U.S. in hockey. That's only fair after we beat their literal ass. Anyway, fuck Canada. The diddler got dumped by his lawyer. He said, fuck that guy. Diddy's fucked. Diddy going down. Luigi Mangioni's about to get the death penalty. Here's to hoping. The Cooters and More Coin Purse Association has raised over $500,000 for his defense. I say cook him like cornbread. Cast iron and all. I told you this would happen. Karen Bass fired Kristen Crowley, the fire chief with the LA fires. I told you she'd fuck her when it was all said and done. And this is her being fucked. The Epstein list is on Pam Bondi's desk. I can't wait to start the betting poll for that one. Gimme. Elon Musk is running around with a bedazzled chainsaw like a great value Jason Voorhees. There was an active shooter in Pennsylvania in a hospital today. He's with the devil now. He's looking up at us watching this TikTok. Kash Patel is fucking shit up. Adam Schiff's about to shit his pants. Really, that's not different from any other day. Trump is selling Nancy Pelosi's building. Gavin Newsom has requested $40 billion from Congress to rebuild LA. I say take that $9.5 billion you got to spend for people that ain't supposed to be here as healthcare, and there's a quarter of your money. Trump told Janet Mills to go to hell, or Jeffrey Mills. It's really hard to say. The View is still shit. It's cold as fuck, and I'm tired as hell. And they might be a UFO invasion in fucking Texas, but nobody gives a damn. That's it. That's the update. If I missed anything, fuck it. I'll get it in the next.
All right, and that sounds like that's the recap for the news. Recap for the news.
Yes.
Well,
I love Sassy.
Yeah, Sassy's fun. He is fun.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
How about some Justin?
All right.
Let's listen.
All righty.
So we've had tens of millions of people show up as alive that are actually deceased in Social Security. Is it a stretch to think that we may have had tens of millions of people voting? Is it a stretch to assume that there may be a reason that some states, the Secretary of States, have refused to clean up their voter rolls? I think this corruption runs so deep and so wide, we're only scratching the surface. I think we're going to be digging for all year. There's going to be a lot that has to be uncovered. This is so interwoven. It's been going on for so long. I've always wondered how a conservative nation is always being subjected to and catering to a pocket of liberal people, which is about 24%. How is that 24% dominating our country? I do believe all the corruption is going to be coming out and everything's going to be interwoven. And I do believe it's going to come out that we're not having elections. We're having selections.
Thoughts?
All right. So all of the fraud, it's coming out. So what does it actually mean for us in the end? It's a good question. Is there going to be Social Security? There's a lot of questions that I think all of us have. I think that if President Trump and company are talking about getting rid of the Internal Revenue Service and shifting all of these IRS people or lots of them over to the External Revenue Service, I think that something like Social Security is still going to be around. I think that that's going to be important. And I think that that's something that's going to end up working out for a whole lot of people, because I know that my entire career, I have not expected Social Security to be solvent. Just haven't believed it, because I know that they've been raiding it this whole time. Nobody with a right mind at all believes that Social Security is going to be around if things had continued on the way they were. And I think that it's extremely important, because this is a promise that was made. And President Trump is all about promises made, promises kept. But we have to get rid of the corrupt people. You know, Kay and I were going over how the system works in so many ways, and it's everywhere. And it's designed to be inefficient. It's designed to be easy to corrupt. And it allows those people to take advantage of it. Well, those people have gotten away with it for so long. And I do believe that now that they're being found out, and once the house is cleaned, I think that we will have a normal United States the way it was supposed to be before everything got twisted. And they took advantage of the kind heart and goodwill of the people, so that way they could twist everything that was intended for good to be used for evil. And now everything that was used for evil gets used for good. That boomerang is going to happen, like Q talked about. Also, it speaks of this very thing happening in the Bible. So these are the things we should expect, and these are things that we should be thanking God for, because it looks like it's actually happening now. And so we can say with more certainty in our thanks to our Lord and Savior that, you know what, God, thank you very much for making this happen. The way he works is truly amazing. And
Count it all joy.
yeah, easier to count it joy now than it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. You ready?
Yes.
Can you read that, please?
RFK Jr. will focus Health and Human Services on solving existential threat of chronic disease in America.
Let's listen.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on my first day at work here at HHS. I want to take this moment to say a few words both to my supporters of the Make America Healthy Again movement, but also to all of the American public. I could read you a list of statistics proving that Americans suffer far higher levels of chronic disease, obesity, addiction, cancer, infertility, and depression than ever before in history, and more than any other country in the world. You already know that. It's pretty obvious that something has gone terribly wrong with our health. I'm also not going to tell you the reasons for this decline. Why? Because neither I nor anyone else can be certain. But what I will tell you is that we are going to find out, and we're going to do something about it. My commitment to you is that we're going to make chronic disease our top priority. In our first 100 days, we're going to examine every possible contributing factor to the epidemic of chronic disease. We will leave no stone unturned. We're going to listen to the experts and to the dissidents. We're going to listen to insiders and to the whistleblowers. We're going to listen to the doctors, and we're going to listen to the moms. We will examine our food, our medicine, our water, our lifestyles, and our environment, everything that goes into Americans' bodies. I promise you that I will enter this inquiry with an open mind and a willingness to be wrong. And I ask that you join me in that. That's how we're going to build unity in this age of political division. We have to find something we care about more than being right, more than political advantage, and more than financial profit. The health of our children is a higher calling for all of us. And here's another promise. We're going to usher in a new era of transparency in all of our health agencies. There's going to be no more hidden conflicts of interest, no more secrecy, no more profiteering from the substances that we're supposed to be regulating. We're going to earn the public's trust with honest, unbiased science. After we get clear on the causes of chronic disease, we're going to take action to reverse it. I know that many of you have lost hope. I know that many of you take these chronic conditions as a normal part of life. Oh, it doesn't have to be that way. I know that because it wasn't that way when I was a kid, and it doesn't have to be that way tomorrow. All it takes is to unify our will to get serious about solving this problem. President Trump has made it one of his top priorities, and I promise to do everything in my power to carry it through. And all I need is your help.
Produced by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Thoughts?
All right, so it's time for us to start working together, and I liked his list of listening to. Sounds like everybody involved. And they're going to listen to the critics. They're going to listen to the bombs. It's not going to be just the doctors and the Faucis of the world. It's actually going to be everybody has a say. And these are the things that have needed to happen because a lot of the research has already been done. A lot of it is already presented to so many people about what's actually going on. We should have a lot more understanding about what's causing sickness in this country. How long have people been talking about high power wires and the negative effects of those? Because a research study has not been done. We can find out what gets sunfish drunk faster, but we can't figure out exactly why people get sick around high power lines. We can't find out why these jabs with tons of mercury in them is making people sick when they keep telling us the mercury makes people sick. Ridiculous. And people need to be brought to the floor on all of this stuff. But more importantly than that, I think that cleaning up the healthcare system is extremely important. And a cleaned up healthcare system is going to involve people stop worrying about what their next vacay is going to be and start worrying about providing the care that's associated with health. Because in the end, that's what these people make their money for, is to make sure people are healthy. And they're making a ton of money, but nobody's actually healthy. We need some fixing in our health industry because it's not about health. It's about profits. And I know that RFK Jr. is basically going to be doing this without a lot of what would in the end sound like a whole bunch of socialist calls to arms with the bougie nature of the medical industry. But they did it to themselves. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it because we know who the problem is. And it's all the doctors that don't feel like you can interview them and then get their panties in a bunch because you actually ask them some questions about trying to find out whether or not they see you as a human being or a paycheck. You know what? These are the things that are going to change because we're going to find out the charlatanry that's been going on this entire time.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of health, we got more.
All right.
Can you read that, please?
We have more health or we have more information about
more
health?
information.
Okay. U.S. Pharmacist exposes massive overspending by Medicaid on outrageously priced medications.
Let's listen.
I would have seen this one coming.
Right?
This is day 5 of helping Doe cut waste. So far, we found 4 drugs that Medicare is overpaying for by $3.3 billion. And today we found another even bigger one.
3.3.
It is aripiprazole. This medication was dispensed 7.2 million times in 2022 at an average of $208 each. That makes the total that Medicare spent $1.5 billion in 1 year on only one drug. At my pharmacy that doesn't take insurance, that medication costs $12. If we filled all 7.2 million of those, the total cost would be $86 million. That means that of the 1.5 billion that they spent, more than 1.4 billion of that was wasted. That happens because Medicare, just like private insurance, uses a pharmacy benefits manager to tell them how much the medication should cost. They use a made-up price called the AWP, and then they get to discount that so they pretend that they're saving us money. After that, they send you to the pharmacy that they own so that they can collect all that easy money. It's a disaster. But it's easy to fix. Cancel the PBM contracts, ditch the made-up prices, and get back to reality. If you want to see how much they've been overcharging you, go to forestparkpharmacy.com to look at our price checker and see how much you could save. See ya.
Thoughts?
Isn't that interesting? Of course, we know that the pharmaceutical industry has been bending people over the barrel for a long time. You know, how much has the price of insulin jumped around? You know, when President Trump first went into office and he dropped it, and then it skyrocketed when President Biden became president, and then all of a sudden it went back down because President Biden's so good at giving those pharmaceutical companies a hard time, you know, trying to take away the profits, even though it wasn't down anywhere near as much as it was when President Trump was in office. Yeah, these are the things that need to happen. But I will say that the real victory in all of this is I've never heard of that pharmacy before, and yet this man is capable and able to present what he sees as the facts, and he hasn't been silenced. It hasn't been taken down. So what that tells me is that the little people who see what's really going on, who have, you know, their ear to the track and understand what's happening as a pharmacist, he sees it happen every single day, and he's able to present the numbers, the facts, and numbers don't lie. And I'm sure that anybody and everybody can sit there and double check his work, especially other pharmacists, because they'll understand exactly what he's talking about. And I probably won't be able to contradict what the man said. So the truth is coming out. And this is exactly what RFK Jr. was talking about, that we need the truth, and that this truth is exactly what's going to drive the way the medical industry is moving forward in the future. And I learned more about the pharmaceutical industry than I have, and I don't know how long. And that's that apparently they're just going off of made up prices, so that way they can say they got a discount, when in all actuality, it should have been $10 instead of $200.
Liberty's not feeling good. He's
Oh, no.
gonna go lay down.
All right.
so-
Well, get better, Liberty.
Yeah.
But
You
thanks for
ready?
stopping by, man. Appreciate it.
Well, he's still gonna listen.
Oh,
He
okay,
just
good deal.
needs to lay down and put his leg up.
All right. Good deal.
You ready?
Yes.
Can you read that, please?
Yes. Is COVID mRNA jab causing Vaxx-Induced AIDS?
Let's listen.
Bombshell new study from Yale Medical School finds people suffering from long COVID are actually suffering from mRNA vaccine injury. As if that's bad enough, it's worse than that. These people are suffering from what's called vaccine-induced AIDS. It's called VAIDS. This is from Slay News. Leading scientists from the world-renowned Yale University have confirmed that COVID mRNA vaccines cause vaccine-acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, VAIDS. A bombshell study conducted by researchers at Yale University School of Medicine found that mRNA injections alter human biology to create long-term spike protein production that increases over time. The scientists warned that the COVID mRNA vaccines alter T-cell immunophenotypes, which triggers VAIDS. The study was led by Bornali Bhattacharya. So not only were we collectively forced to take an experimental vaccine or risk losing our jobs, we were lied to about it. It didn't stop you from contracting or transmitting the virus. It wasn't safe. It caused heart issues, blood clots, autoimmune disorders. We were censored when we questioned the madness. And now we find out that the mRNA jab causes VAIDS in many people. This is one of the most egregious scandals in American history. Kash Patel's first order of business at the FBI should be throwing in prison every single person involved in this crime against humanity.
Thoughts?
Oh, so Anthony Fauci, the creator of all of this crap, is going to be my guess, or certainly a key player in it. Because why else would why else would Fauci need a pardon for pushing that vaccine? Yeah, that's not going to cut the mustard. I don't think that pardon's going to help him out much. He's better find a deep, far away hole to go hide in, because it's not going to end up well for that dude in the long run. People are going to be pissed, and they have every right to be pissed that they were, not forced. You were never forced to take it. You were forced to make a decision as to whether or not you were going to continue your job. That's a bullshit thing. And it shouldn't be. And yet another reason why Nuremberg 2.0 must be an absolute necessity. Actually, it should be Washington, D.C. Instead of Nuremberg, the D.C. or the Gitmo trials.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Anyways, Liberty says, yeah, I had another leg vein rupture. Oh man, this morning an emergency surgery. Varicose veins are common to truck drivers. Yeah, not that's an industry that needs some looking at. Kay's dad was, and he sadly passed from a heart attack years and years and years ago when she was just a little girl. It is something that needs to be looked at. But if we had a health industry worth its weight in just letters, then we might actually be able to prevent these kinds of things. It's sad. It's sad that this is where our medical industry is at, because they had so much trust and respect. I guess now they have to actually earn it back.
Yeah.
But once bitten, twice shy.
Yes, very much so. You ready?
Mhm.
Can you read that, please?
Joe Rogan and Woody Harrelson discuss monster Anthony Fauci.
Let's listen.
He is a monster.
Fauci did some extraordinarily evil shit.
Yeah,
And
he was
knows what he did.
He was the villain of the Dallas Buyers Club, that movie. That was about people trying to seek alternative treatments to deal with AIDS.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's Fauci.
Right.
That's AZT.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson got on AZT and it was killing him, and he got off of it.
Yeah. And he's still alive. Yeah.
It's a bummer. It's just a bummer that someone had that kind of power for so long. It was such a fucking monster.
Yeah. Did you see that little meme that went around? And it was right after he got first time anyone ever got pre-pardoned.
Yeah.
And you said nothing says trust science like a blanket pre-pardon. And
Yeah.
a picture of Fauci.
Well, the
You
problem
see
with
it?
that pre-pardon is he's pre-pardoned federally, but he's not pre-pardoned state-wise. These states can still sue him. Not only that, when you're pardoned, then you can no longer plead the fifth. So you could be held for perjury. So there's a lot of issues with being pardoned that I don't think Biden took into consideration, or Fauci took into consideration either. I think he just wanted anything to protect him because he knew it was coming. He knew that just the emails that were available that showed collusion, where he had gotten a hold of all these different researchers and changed their perspective on whether or not it was a lab leak. Because through Eco Health Alliance, they had funded gain of function research after Obama.
Gain of function. That's what I was trying to think. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
But gain of function is essentially taking a virus and making it more infectious to human beings.
Weaponizing the virus.
Yeah. The idea is supposedly to study it, but if you're studying it and you don't have a fucking cure, you've been studying this shit for so long and you don't have a cure, like what are you actually doing? Well, you're doing weapons research.
Thoughts?
Like I've been saying, it's a biological weapon. It's been a biological weapon, and it was a biological attack in coordination with the Bill Gates jab, who was seriously funding that. And yeah, the preemptive blanket pardon might be a little sus to the rest of everybody on the planet, especially when he was the one that was telling everybody, wear 5 masks, wear 4 masks, wear 5 masks, 3 masks.
I am the science.
I am the science, like Judge Dredd or something.
Yeah.
Whatever, bro. Yeah. It's not going to be good, and I don't believe. I think that the preemptive blanket pardon is going to be challenged in courts, and he most assuredly needs to be brought up against. He needs charges brought up against him, but I think that would work through normal legal systems, and I have a feeling that a military tribunal, considering it was an attack on the nation, is actually more likely to not be affected by a presidential pardon from a president who was fraudulently elected. Just throwing that out there.
Elected or installed?
Fraudulently elected.
Okay.
Yeah, installed. Like a toilet.
Yeah.
Jenny says they have it all. Oh yeah, they got it all. And nothing can stop what's coming. It's right around the corner, 100%. Chacha says, looks like Woody doesn't partake in the adrenochrome. No, he never had some massive weight loss, did he? Yeah, that was interesting.
You ready?
Yes.
Let's listen.
All righty.
And sometimes God allows you to go through so you can come to.
Sometimes God allows you to go through so you can come to. Some of you think you're catching hell when you're really not catching hell. God is allowing you to go through hell because he knows the only time you get on your face is when you're catching hell. So God says, I tell you what, the passport I will use to usher them back into my presence is pain, because don't nobody worship like somebody hurt.
Thoughts?
All right. It kind of goes along the lines with something that I've been saying for a little bit now, and that is we have to get to that point in our lives where we recognize that control is an illusion, and that we really don't have as much of a say in life as on the things that we think that we might have we actually might think that we have a say on it. See, the thing is we have to get to that point, and God's got to bring us to that point where we recognize that it's his will, not ours. And once we recognize that it's his will, not ours, that's the point where we're getting into that point where we should be praying. After all, it's because we go through these trials and tribulations that we recognize that God is actually saving us, that he has chosen us to wake up from the madness that we were in at that point in time. And we can continue to ignore all of the roadblocks and problems that come up in our life, and we will continue to have more and more problems. And that's exactly what we have to go through, so that way we bother trying to open our eyes and recognize that something else is going on that's beyond our control, and it's telling us something. So it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we're trying to listen and see the signs that are being presented to us, so that way we can get in step with what will God has for us, so that way we can bring the beauty and the message that he wants us to bring, that only you, uniquely you, can bring. Again, consider it all joy and recognize that just because you're getting correction doesn't mean that it's bad. It means, as a matter of fact, that he loves you tremendously more. It can be a challenge, but it's part of the growth process. Carol says, even our prayers, it's God's will, not ours. Amen. Thank you, Mom.
You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read that, please?
Globalist elite scumbag, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink suddenly wants to rebuild trust. Shut up.
You ready? Listen.
And we've heard everything.
What I worry about is the breakdown of trust. We talk about populism and this polarization of opinion. I mean, I think dialogues like this here in Berlin, dialogues last week at the UN in New York, we need to have more conversations. We need to create a greater ability to create trust and relationships. I think the greatest, history books will talk about the greatest breakdown of trust was during COVID, when we lacked that conversation. I think so much of the global outcomes was that breakdown in trust. When I think about the rise of social media, we see that breakdown in trust. Trust is not texting each other across the table. Trust is having conversations, having communication, having bondings together. And I think we are losing touch. And I think, to me, this is one of the greatest problems. And it's very hard for our business to respond to these issues. But we need, as all leaders, both political and business leaders, finding ways of rebuilding trust. And to me, this is one of the biggest issues that I have with the rise of populism and the anger that we are seeing with the rise of populism. We need to find ways of coming together to create a common ground, to try to help more people build a more common, more prosperous future.
Thoughts?
I wonder what he'd look like in a gibbet after about 30 days. Huh. Anyways, despite all of his gaslighting and saying that populism is causing this contrarian kind of attitude is so tone deaf, dude has no clue. No, the populism came about because, or the anger came about not because of populism. Populism came about because of the anger of the way as clowns like you were running the world into the ground and trying to necessarily reduce the population to about 500 million people, 500 million people. Hey, Dad at home, thanks for joining. Yeah, Nobody cares about you, Fink boy.
I know, he's so disgusting.
It's more of the bugs kind of East India Trading Company losers
I
that
know.
this world just doesn't need. Again, like I stated before, just a recommendation. We should listen to the eugenicists. We'll start with the eugenicists, and then after we get rid of all of them, then we'll reconsider whether or not eugenicism actually makes any sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Chachi says DJT is putting this guy front and center for a reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chachi. That's something that President Trump does wonderfully. Is he points out who the problem children are.
Yeah.
And I think that he keeps eating at McDonald's for some reason too. Can't quite figure it out yet, but maybe that's a possibility. But yeah, Mr. Fink boy, he's gonna have a rough future. I have a feeling.
I agree with you. Are you ready?
Zoltar, with the hat. What was it? Was it Zoltan? Johnny Carson when he put the envelope.
Oh, I
on?
can't remember.
Yeah.
Someone will know.
Yeah, somebody will know. One of y'all know.
You ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that, please?
Maine Democrats tried to bully state lawmaker into taking down criticism of boys dominating girls' sports.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's listen.
I heard this from a friend who is impacted and immediately felt, I have to post this and share because it's not fair. These girls, you look at the picture and there's a boy on the podium in first place, and there's two girls who tied for second place that would have won if not for a biological male jumping in their category. That's just not fair for Maine girls.
Have you paid any sort of price politically in terms of people reacting negatively at the very least as a result of speaking out on these issues?
Yeah, I've heard from Maine folks on both sides of the issue. I've heard folks, saying, thank you so much for speaking up. Our girls deserve to have a fair and level playing field. I've also heard from folks who are unhappy about my post. This is a public event that this individual has chosen to take part in, and the results are public. And this is public information. And so I've heard from folks on both sides of the aisle. I've been asked by Democrat leadership in the House to take the post down. And as you can see, I have not done that. Our girls deserve folks standing up and advocating for a fair and level playing field. And we'll have legislation coming up this session in the State House to discuss this topic of if boys should be allowed to play in girls' sports here in Maine. And so there's going to be plenty of opportunity for folks to stand up and make their voices heard.
Thoughts?
All right, so I have a friend or two out in Maine, and they were excited that the governor got smacked down by President Trump. And they are happy that this conversation is happening. People move to Maine. I mean, except for the liberal trash that sells or makes all their money off of the backs of hardworking people, so that way they can go get their vacation home in some other state, and so they go buy houses in the large cities of Maine. But most of Maine is a whole bunch of backwoods. And everybody in the backwoods doesn't care about any of this girls in sports. It doesn't matter to them. The real Mainers, the real people from Maine, they don't care about this wokeness. As a matter of fact, they recognize that that's counterintuitive to anything that's going to help you survive amongst a Maine winter and the Maine critters and all of the things that are associated with being stuck out in the middle of nowhere. And they're happy being out there because it gets them away from this very kind of crap. Well, sadly, it's gone to their doorstep, and now they have to deal with it. And I'm glad that they have somebody like this representative who is telling the truth and fighting the good fight. Y'all got a good person over there, Maine. Make sure you help her out and do everything she asks, and make sure that you're motivated to be active in this, because this fight is still continuing and it's still extremely important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that is awesome.
It was.
It was awesome. Yeah,
You
she did
ready?
great. Yep.
Can you read that, please?
Here's another example of someone brainwashed into believing President Trump is racist.
Let's listen.
Here we go.
You know, this is somebody who tried to ban transgender people. I mean, he's transphobic.
Didn't ban them. He just said, "I'm not going to pay for it with the military." He didn't ban them.
Well, that's transphobic then, isn't it?
Why is it transphobic? The military taxpayers should be paying for it.
Well, why can't they join the army?
He's not stopping them from joining the army. He's just saying, "I'm not going to pay for your surgery."
Okay, don't pay for the surgery, but then.
So that's not transphobic, then, is it?
Well, he has said some nasty things.
What's he said?
He said, "Oh God, what's he said?" He said some really horrible things, which I don't really want to repeat. But I mean, at the end
of okay, we're all adults here.
Well, I won't repeat them.
You're anti-Trump. You must,
Well, he's racist. He has said some very nasty things about black people, about Hispanic people.
Half of his staff
I don't care about
half of his staff come from different countries and are different races. So
yeah.
Why would he hire different races if he was racist?
Look, the man has said some nasty things about black people and Hispanic people. The fact that he's trying to cover it up by employing black people and other non-white people doesn't really make any difference. Has he actually apologized? No.
Thoughts, dumb bitch.
Count to 10. Okay, hold on. Liberty got you. There we go.
I counted.
There was no
50.
lull for that. She just needs to count to 10.
Yeah.
Deep cleansing breaths. In with the cold and good. Out with the hot and bad.
Thoughts.
All right. So thoughts. Could care absolutely less. Not much less I could care about than some wokester from Britain.
Yeah.
Don't care. Y'all already screwed up your own country. And this heifer really don't care. She doesn't understand what's going on. And again, she's like that lady earlier that was getting upset about, military people getting 10% discounts at, the food blister. Kind of makes me really angry because I want fat food for cheap. Yeah. And this is exactly what it is. She has no desire to be in the military, and if she went into the military, she would think that she would go ahead and change everything, as if bullets and the physics of bullets work differently around trans people.
Yeah.
Or if logistics trains are somehow less burdened because of her mere presence. Mm-hmm. Well, Superwoman, put your money where your mouth is, or shut your fat yap.
Yeah.
There we go. Aaron says, he said nasty things about criminals regardless of their skin color. Yeah, I know. But, people are people-y, and this people is very people-y.
Yeah.
Yes. Chachi. The TDS talking points are so old, they can't come up with anything new. Chachi, 100%. 100%. There are no new talking points because all of the people that were coming up with the talking points are probably trying to keep their head low right now because they know the pain is incoming.
Yes.
Of course it made 0 sense. That's why she was on TV.
Right.
Let that sink in.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that,
is there
please?
Anything of value on traditional trad TV?
I don't know.
Whatever. All right. People boycotting Tesla because they fear Doge and Elon Musk are morons.
Let's listen.
Elon Musk and Tesla haters are some of the most irrational and delusional people I've ever seen. Because let me get this straight. You want to hurt Elon Musk and you want to stop him from doing the best that he can to get our government to be efficient and show us transparency or where all our tax money is going, instead of the last administration hiring 87,000 IRS employees to audit you and your $600 Venmo payment. So you don't want that, right? You don't want him to make our government more efficient, and you want to hurt him by boycotting Tesla. So what's going to happen? Let's say he loses all of Tesla, right? The guy is worth like $400 billion. He owns 13% of Tesla. So the Tesla portion of his wealth is about 150 billion. So what, he's going to go down to worth 250 billion? Oh my God, his life is ruined. How can he live on 250 billion instead of 400 billion? And people are saying, yeah, he's in it to enrich himself. Like what? And he has your data and your social security number. He's going to go check in on your $300 bank account or apply for a Best Buy credit card in your name. Like, just be more irrational, guys. Boycotting Tesla and hurting Tesla will only hurt America, American jobs, and American investments. What do you think? Who do you think is invested in Tesla? Everyone and their mother who owns the S&P 500 owns a part of Tesla, the stock Tesla, the company. All the workers, tens of thousands of American workers, American hardworking, smart workers, work for Tesla. If Tesla goes away, all these people lose their jobs. Who's going to benefit? You know who's going to benefit? Not America. China will be the leader in EVs. China will be the leader in AI. China will be the leader in robotics, humanoid robots. So just boycotting Tesla and saying that's going to hurt Elon Musk is so silly and delusional. And the best one of them is selling your Tesla in order to boycott. You already gave your money to Tesla and Elon Musk. Selling your Tesla, that doesn't hurt him at all. That's not coming out of his money. That's not doing anything. That's only robbing you from owning the best car that you ever drive in your life, because Teslas are the safest, most American-made cars. So boycotting Tesla and boycotting Elon Musk only hurts you and American people. Doesn't hurt Elon, doesn't hurt what he's doing with the government. He's going to continue to do it. And you're going to feel the benefits of this, and you're going to feel so dumb when you actually feel the benefits of what he's doing in Doge. So yeah, let me know. Let me know what your arguments about this in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments. Press the plus sign to follow for more, and I will see you in the next video.
Thoughts?
I mean, that's pretty much what it boils down to. LOLOLOLOLOL says it right. Exactly. This guy speaks the truth. He does speak the truth. I hope that these people have enough of an epiphany, a moment of clarity, if you will, that, yeah, they were pretty dumb. It would be nice if some humble pie was available for them when it happens, because they really don't understand. They're okay with the government looking at every $600 that you get moving in or out of your account. How many bills can you pay that are under $600? Real bills. You know, your mortgage, your car payment, hell, even a lot of people's car insurance payments. What about their medical insurance? So many things. They're looking at absolutely everything you do, and they get upset that Elon Musk is looking at the government's bills. That's kind of ridiculous. What about all of the other things that people are content with the government looking at? And don't feel that the government needs the same kind of microscopic level look? Of course it needs that. There's too much money. That's exactly why things are broken. So I look forward to the day that these people actually realize that they were stupid and that they were making everybody's life miserable because they thought they knew absolutely everything and didn't bother listening to the people on the other side. Yeah. And we don't need them running anything ever again. And I have a feeling that they're most of the people who have been running everything. After all, it's the limousine liberal who seems to be doing just fine throughout all of this.
Yeah.
Except now. And I'm not losing any sleep over the limousine liberals losing anything.
No.
Liberty says, wow, he said all that and no cuss words. Yeah, that's pretty nice, wasn't it?
Yeah. You ready?
Yes.
Let's listen.
All righty.
See what God does, he don't yell. My God whispers. And when he whispers to me, if I have too much noise in my life, I can't hear.
Yeah.
And so I don't have noises of life in my life. I don't have ignorance and adolescence and childishness and foolishness in my life. If you start bringing that mess to my life, you're going to be evicted out of my life. When your faith is in order, you got to listen closely to find your peace. Closely.
Thoughts?
All right. So Neon Deion Sanders, boy, talk about an interesting journey that man has had. I don't know much about what his connections are, but it sounds like he's kind of understood that the way he used to do things was counter to the way things needed to be done. An amazing football player, did tremendous things, but at the same time, he was that flash. And NFL didn't need that flash. It was on the way down as we got more and more of those flash players that wanted all the money, and it was all about what they could do. And is there some need for that? Yeah, you can't get to the highest level of a professional sport and not have some kind of confidence issues. But at the same time, it's the change that he has made. The fact that he understands the quiet voice is a huge thing in and of itself, because we hear that loud voice telling us the things that we think we want in life, but it is the quiet voice that we listen to that helps us understand what we should really be doing. And the fact that he has had such a big change tells me that he's going to be sensitive to that those kinds of issues. I really think that the man has found some kind of relationship with God that he may not have had before, or at least it's much stronger than it was at any point in time, based off of what I understand. But I can tell you that he would be a tremendous leader to help people find their way back home. And I think that that's what he's doing. He's always been a leader of some sort. And it's nice to see that he's trying to lead people back to God, because in the end, God wins. And God is the one that's trying to tell us to do things the right way. So if he's telling people, listen to that quiet voice, find that quiet, still place. Remember, Jesus disappeared how many times? So that way I could go, I'm going to talk to my Father. And then poof, he'd disappear. And sometimes he'd try to disappear and people would find him anyways. Well, that's talking to the Father.
Yeah.
And he talks to us in a quiet voice.
Absolutely. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Can you read that, please?
In 35 seconds, Stephen Miller breaks down what the Trump administration team is doing.
Let's listen.
Mm-hmm.
The most exciting of all is the fact that every single day, the entire White House staff, the entire administration, the entire cabinet, on behalf of President Trump and his extraordinary leadership, is getting the lies out of our schools, the men out of women's sports, the poison out of our foods, the woke out of our military, the predators off our streets, and the illegal aliens the hell out of our country.
Thoughts?
We're actually moving towards the kind of country that we want. We need the woke out of so much. The woke has been inserted into our lives when it was always such a minute, if even that much, portion of the American population. I think everybody has the right to live the way they want, but we certainly shouldn't be forced to cater to a specific group of people, no matter how large or small that specific group of people may be. We don't need to cater to them. As a matter of fact, we just need to make sure that they have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit. Emphasis added. Pursuit of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's guaranteed happiness. And you ain't going to find happiness with a big bank account. Just ask George Soros. That dude ain't happy about nothing.
Yeah.
And he's been stealing everybody's money. Crashed entire nations. Not happy. Got to find happiness from within.
You do.
And being honest with yourself and everybody else is probably a good start.
Yeah.
Aaron says Elon Musk calls it a mind virus, the woke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always felt that we've always called him the Borg. And if you do Star Trek at all, then, or Next Generation anyways, then you know who the Borg are, and makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Elon does seem happy, doesn't he, Carol?
Yeah.
And
You ready?
God is good. Amen, Mama Spark.
You ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that, please?
Data Republican. Their power depends on people not knowing what they're doing with their money.
Let's look.
I mean, it's trying to educate people to this reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's listen.
Figure it out.
They all emphasize this censorship and this secrecy. And the reason why they're offended is because their power depends on people not knowing what they're doing with their money. And so that is truly censorship. Because I think if actual Americans understood what they were doing with our money, and they were actually setting up their own government and actually ignoring what real people wanted to do, we would be so upset. Because the reality is that these people have a government unto themselves that they've created with these NGOs that they run separately from us. And the reason I'm doing this interview is because I want to promote the knowledge to the public that these people operate in different vocabulary with different rules, and they have made their own government inside ours with our money.
Thoughts?
The accountability is the biggest thing. We most assuredly need to know what's going on with the government. When did it ever become normalized that the government said, you can't look at what we are doing? No, ass clown. It's exactly what we're supposed to know. We're supposed to know what's going on with every penny. As a matter of fact, even Woodrow Wilson didn't really want to use the Zimmerman telegram because he didn't feel that gentlemen looked at other gentlemen's mail. And so utilizing the intelligence community that was kind of around back then was seen as a faux pas. Now they use all of that information against the people because of what Woodrow Wilson did. Again, the worst president ever to walk the face of this nation. Anyways, so we need to know what's going on. We need to understand because people have been saying it for a while now. You work for the government, you work for me. Yeah, doesn't mean that they're supposed to kiss our ass, but it certainly means that they have to open up all of the books to let us know what's going on. I understand this is a dangerous world and that there are nations that are trying to kill us, and that having an intelligence apparatus is an extremely important part until we can figure out how to make the world a little bit more peaceful of a place. But it's not going to get any more peaceful as long as we can't see what's going on with an overwhelming majority of what's been going on with the budget.
Yeah.
They work for us. And when they work for us, that means that we get to look at the books.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure that we don't stop until we can all look at the books whenever we damn well please.
Yeah.
Mama Spark, the old Reagan, what is it? The 8 worst words or whatever.
The scariest words.
The scariest words. I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that, please?
All righty. I got to blow this one up. All right. At CPAC, President Trump asks if anyone wants to go to Fort Knox with him and Elon Musk. Me.
Let's listen.
We're also going to Fort Knox. I'm going to go with Elon. And would anybody like to join us? Because we want to see if the gold is still there. We want to see. Wouldn't that be terrible? We open up.
Thoughts?
Wouldn't that be terrible? They open up the vaults and it looks like a Geraldo Rivera looks at Al Capone's vault kind of thing. You know, some dirt, some empty beer bottles, you know, stuff like that, but kind of short on anything of value. Yeah, I'd go too, Mike. Absolutely. Just ridiculous. Why they were able to close the doors and not let congressmen and senators audit Fort Knox is absolutely amazing to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, they forgot who they work for over there at Fort Knox, apparently, because somebody should have blown the whistle. But I have a feeling anytime anybody tried to blow the whistle, there was some kind of arkancide or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is an actress. Listen to this shit.
She uses with finger quotes. Oh God, what is this thing?
Hold on, just listen.
Oh, Trump. Ah, wow, what a guy. Yes, well, when the orange drips, you know, it's very weird to have like a showbiz guy in charge. Is surreal. I mean, because, well, I'm actually pretty horrified by how strategic and effective this whole thing has been, and I think there's a real disconnect in all of the noise around like the individuals that are going to be really taking the hits on a individual, like a human basis, in the trans community, gay community, Black community, you know, women. Like I hate violence so much, and I just think it's that's the part of it. Like this country's always had, you know, insanity, but to really have like a death toll and be willing to do that is a pill too great for me to swallow. Like beyond the sort of dialectic around oligarchs and whatever else, it's like when I think of the kids or like the 12-year-old girl that can't get an abortion or something, or, you know, that's what really like rips me apart that but you know, this is America, to quote Childish Gambino, Donald Glover. So it's nothing we didn't know, but always a horror to see up front. And I don't know.
The fact that she said,
I still have no idea who the hell she is.
I
You
gave
me
you
the
her name.
Yeah, I thought we had a new person,
No.
Natasha Lyon.
Anyway, the fact that she said, it breaks my heart that a 12-year-old girl can't have an abortion.
She tells you where she's at.
Yeah.
I wish her mother would have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shut up, stupid. Okay, one, I have no idea what insignificant human being this is that thinks that
An
they're
actress.
okay. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Somebody who lies for a living? Okay. Yeah, definitely want to listen to people who lie for a living, play pretend as if they, know what they're doing. Yeah. Yeah. Why anybody decided to listen to anybody in Hollywood is beyond my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Esto says, breaks my mind that she would think that that's an issue. Yeah, her brain cells have disappeared. She sounded scared. And then I don't know what was with the 1920s. Yeah, you see, huh? It's the coppers. What the hell is that? Wow.
These people are too much.
She's special.
Yeah, special ed. She rode the short bus.
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart.
We'll pray for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ready?
Uh-huh.
Let's listen.
All righty.
Out of my ears.
The Lord told me to tell you, you don't belong anywhere where they didn't recognize you leaving. If people cannot appreciate your presence, they deserve your absence.
Thoughts?
It's kind of how we should deal with a lot of people. A lot of people don't want to be around. And then you start to get your life together and things start looking good. And then all of a sudden, all those people that want nothing to do with you are magically around. What a surprise. They ain't there to be there for you now that you have, some amount of success, whatever it is that they want out of your life hasn't changed. They just see a different value in you, but they don't see the real value that you have. So if people ain't there during the trials, you certainly don't need them there for when things are going good. Know your worth and recognize that other people see your worth and steal everything you got. And that, those people are out there no matter how good you are. So make sure you're careful about the people that you have around us, around you. I think that's exactly why President Trump said, at some point in time, I'd like to lose everything so I could see who my real friends are. And, he found that answer out, but he knows who his real friends are. And that's a pretty good place to be.
It is. It really is. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's listen.
All righty.
Well done is better than well said.
Okay.
All right. I guess that's motto for the night. Benjamin Franklin, always there for lots and lots of wisdom. And well done is always better than well said. So there's probably not a whole lot more to say about that other than go out there and do it well. So that way it doesn't need to be said.
Love that.
Seasoning?
Actions over words.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stress that enough. There's one thing to say, oh, I do this or I do that. It's another thing to actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, guys? You are the best family on the planet. So go out tonight and tomorrow and be amazing like you all are.
As you should. And like Carol says, very few people actually give a crap about anyone or anything. So we got to be the ones to do it.
Yes.
So Well done, everybody.
Well done.
And we look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and Pill.net.
And if you haven't already, please take a minute and give us that virtual hug. If you're over on Rumble or YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're over on Pill.net, take that red pill. If you're over on X, smash that heart. And if you're on Facebook, you're our family. We know you like to push buttons, so go over there and clickety-click away.
Clickety-click, everybody. All right. Well, we look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow night. We love you all. Have a great night. Be safe. And God bless each and every one of you.